Hello, leaders. Hey, this is Paul Grau Jr., and welcome to Run to Your Leadership Challenges. So today, I'm going to be talking about how leaders can avoid the weekend hangover. And what I mean by the weekend hangover, I mean like when you or your team members come in on a Monday or a Tuesday or whatever day they return from a weekend, when they're just sluggish and possibly just, for lack of better words, hungover from the weekend. So I'm dipping back into the vault, and we're going back to episode 88 from season 1. Here you go. I think you're going to enjoy it. Hello. Have you ever noticed how some of your people are dragging after a 3-day weekend? Maybe I'm describing you. If your people are struggling to get motivated after a long weekend, or after any weekend for that matter, they just may be experiencing a weekend hangover. Or they may just not like the particular job that you have them doing. Today's challenge is going to talk about what we can do as leaders to minimize the amount of team members we have getting weekend hangover. Okay, let's get into today's challenge of weekend hangover. So maybe you've never experienced this, but I know there have been many times that I simply hated going to work on the first day following a long weekend, or worse yet, a vacation. Man, it was painful. First of all, I had to go back to a job that I didn't really enjoy. Secondly, I had to face all those coworkers that I may not have absolutely loved. And of course, there was all the work that piled up while I was away. It seems like the longer you're on vacation, the more work you have waiting for you, right? And there's nothing worse than being buried in your work that has a deadline of yesterday. Well, if that describes you or any one of your team members, I have a few tips for you. First of all, ensure that your people are in a position that is paired up to their strengths. I know you might not always have that luxury, but you can get creative to a point. Give them small tasks that keep them engaged and excited. Give them a bigger piece of the pie in the decision making. Occasionally ask them where they think they see themselves in a few years and really listen to them. That'll give you a great idea of exactly where they might fit in better in your department or in your team. Next, try to have weekly team building activities to help your team members get along better. Start by being vulnerable yourself. Open up to your people. Laugh at yourself. And allow others the freedom to have fun. Returning from a long weekend of fun to go back to a dull workplace is the absolute pits. Liven things up a bit by having fun. And yes, you can have fun and still get a lot of work done. Laughter and fun can increase your overall productivity in many cases. So give it a try. Some fun team builders don't have to take long, and a great way to kick off the morning after a long weekend is to have a team meeting, or a roll call if you will, to kick things off, and just have everyone share what they did over the weekend. Have them share their best moments, their new adventures that they did, or maybe their bad memories, something that went terribly wrong. The key is to get them talking and sharing while it's still fresh in their minds. Have them open up. Get them laughing first thing in the morning. Any kind of team building activities are an excellent way to enhance your relationships and morale. All right, finally, try to always close out the day before a long weekend or vacation by getting to a comfortable stopping point. I know this isn't very helpful today, but this is something you can start implementing this week, and especially like this Friday. Get to a point where it isn't going to be overwhelming to pick up where you left off when you return. Another helpful tip to minimize the workload on your desk when you return is to have some kind of program in place where everyone picks up the slack for whoever may be on vacation. Farm out their tasks evenly across the board. This will reduce the workload they have on their desk, and it'll build trust and appreciation for the entire team over the long haul. People may actually look forward to coming back. Can you imagine returning from vacation or a long weekend and not being overwhelmed with piles of work because your team members helped you out while you were gone? Well, it's possible. It just takes everybody to kick in and help out. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, please share this briefing with your friends, your coworkers, and every other leader you know, and especially your HR directors and your CEOs, so your entire organization can run to your challenges together. You can always contact me directly at Paul Grau, that's PaulGrau at currentleadershipcoaching.com. Hey, thanks for listening. And until tomorrow, run to your challenges.